Buonasera a tutti e a tutte. First, a very warm congratulations to all the team for this very, very impressive film. So, congratulations, Saulė, Vesta, Yeva, Gabriel, and Juste. I mean, it's such an impressively assured first feature. Congratulations. So I'm going to start. So my name is Mathilde Enrault. I'm a member of the selection committee here at the Locarno Film Festival. And I'm going to ask a few questions, and then I invite you all to ask questions to this wonderful team. Maybe, Saulė, you want to talk first about the title of the film?
You mean the English one or Lithuanian one?
Oh, you can talk about the two titles, and the one that came first, being the Lithuanian.
Yeah, Lithuanian title Akiplėša is untranslatable to English because it means this shameless person, and literally Akiplėša means a person who takes your eyes out. You know, he is so shameless that your eyes are like falling out. So yeah, so this title came first, and it was untranslatable, so I had to find another title, English one, that would fit the film. And I thought of toxic, that encapsulates a lot of contexts and a lot of themes in this film. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was the first time you actually saw the film, Vesta and Yera?
Yes, correct.
So you might be very emotional, but
yeah. I'm feeling so many emotions right now, like all at once, and I don't understand how to express them. It was really exciting to see the film. It was like, I don't know, it was better than I expected, actually. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling, I don't know.
Yeah, for me too, it's just, I'm kind of in a shock right now, you know. To see myself in and to see Vesta and all these people that we filmed with, you know, it's crazy. It's really, really crazy right now, but I loved it.
What was the hardest scene to shoot?
For me, I feel like maybe the one where I'm like, you know, trying to get the tapeworm out in the fields, you know. Yeah, that one. I feel.
The one that required the most stamina was the one that we were both in the water playing around. Like, it was so hard because we had to like play fight, and like I had to take a breath, but it was so hard, and I don't know.
Yeah, that's hard actually. I wondered when I watched it. I wondered, did they really hurt themselves? Because they really fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there was one where I was sitting all wet, and I swam around alone, and I have like a fear of dark water, and when I was swimming alone, it was really like hard for me to get out of my comfort zone. Like, I did it, so I'm proud of myself.
Congratulations. There are some questions already for the team. Don't be shy. You must have many questions. Yeah. Wait 1 second, we're going to...
Well, right away. I would like to know if there's some part of autobiographic stuff in here, or if
yes.
You know the world of modeling and...
Yeah, there is like a lot of situations that happened to me or my friends when we were teenagers. And also, yeah, I wasn't a model or anything, but I was... I was going to the castings that were held at that time, you know, in malls or some, you know, halls, because there will always be some casting going on in my area, or sometimes even I remember some model scouts would come into the school and ask every girl to stand up, and they would invite certain girls for the casting. And
in the class? In the
yeah,
classroom.
yeah, I remember that happened once or twice.
There's some more questions. Maybe we can... there's one scene that really struck me since... I mean, it's actually the first scene. We see the scene where, you know, you realize that your pair of jeans has been stolen. and the camera is in a very particular position, because it's not like on the ceiling. It's just a little bit below, but it still gives the impression that it's a security camera that looks at the scene from a great distance. Do you want to maybe elaborate on this?
Yeah, that actually came from like experimenting and looking for the angle during the location scout. So that was actually the suggestion of the DOP. Just he has a. I was very lucky to work with him because he has this great intuition where to put the camera, and he would like during the whole shooting he would suggest some weird angle, and I would say, "Seriously?" And he would say, "Yeah, let's try it," and I was like, "Yeah, that's great." So it's actually there wasn't much philosophy behind it. We would just go intuitively, you know, and that's how it happened. Yeah.
That's great. I mean, you're a wonderful team with your producers as well to just try and test and try and how did you meet, by the way, Geidre and Saulė?
We met a long time ago while making. I was making the short films while I was studying in the film school in Vilnius, and I met with Geidre, yeah, and we did some short films together, yeah, before.
Yes, there is a question here.
Thank you for this wonderful film. I noticed the lack of any protecting subjects. These are more than two vulnerable girls without any protection. I wonder if it is the reality. I think that it's not. I hope that there are protection institutions or families. Here, family is just single old women that are around these girls, but there is nothing which you can call a protection. Protection.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a kind of a weird question to ask if this is the reality. I got like this question 3 times during all of the filmmaking, during my short films as well. And it's so weird because, well, I try to portray what I was going through. I mean, and a lot of like my friends were going through, and that was the reality for us. And yeah, I think sometimes some people don't have any protection, so you have to navigate through that. And I think you have to navigate like holding on to your friends and go through these tough situations. But yeah, this is the reality sometimes. But for me, it was just a part of my life. Yeah, and I learned something from it. Yeah.
And there's actually a beautiful scene as well of protection, but it's really like healing when the grandmother is like doing a sort of incantation to help her heal. It's beautiful because it's a bit magic, no? It's the moment of magic, how it could be taken out by this movement, or it's just a way to heal and to create something. And that's the moment where they're all together before you don't see her grandmother with her, and you feel this bond that is eventually created.
Yeah, I think that in that scene, the touch is healing. We see a lot of touches that in the film that are unconsensual, and at this point, this touch, is very nice and comforting. So, yeah, this scene had to be there.
And I like also the fragility. I think the fragility element is also an element we find in many of the characters. In your character as you're limp, and in the grandmother as well, because you could see that her hand is slightly trembling. And so there's this kind of empathy created and this fear we have for the characters because their fragility is so there, not hidden.
Yeah, it's the woman that played the grandma is a very famous actress in Lithuania. and this hand trembling is like a natural thing for her. So this wasn't acting. She just has this, thing with her hands, and she was very scared about it. And this was actually when I saw her in one of the theater performances at first, before I was casting the grandma, and I saw her, and she was doing this performance, and her hands were constantly trembling, and I saw it, and I thought, wow, she could be the grandma, because somehow I managed to cast a lot of people that had some kind of flaw in their bodies, Yeah, so I really wanted to work with her, but it was quite hard for her to be in the shootings. And when I called her, she said, please don't offer me to any more roles in cinema. I'm done. I will never do it again. And she did it. And I heard that some other director just called her and she said the same thing. Please, go away. I'm too old for this. Leave me alone.
Some question maybe here. Yeah. And then here.
Good morning, and thank you for the film. I had the impression that one is very far in the north, as if the days are incredibly long in Vilnius or in Lithuania or further north, and boring. And then all day long, let's do something, or let's find out what maybe makes the day bearable. It's sort of going on in this film, very, very long. I have an interesting, or my question is actually, then you turn over the toilet box with a woman in. Now, the interesting was for me also, you didn't stop. Nobody stopped, you ran away, because maybe they pick you up, or maybe it was like, well, give her some fun, or let's see how she get out of their own toilet box. You see, I would be very much interested to hear whether the style of young people like you, girls or people in the streets, and in these towns, which seem to see so boring, is very, very different, let's say, dans an area we here in Switzerland, where there simply is a totally different climate, and your age young people go different to a film festival. So I'm very interested whether you could make any comment to that lifestyle and that boring, if there is such a boring, of young people. Thank you.
Yeah, well, actually, in Lithuania, there are parts, outskirts of the towns and cities that had teenagers, just searching for ways to spend their days, But I think you can find these places all around the world. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not in Switzerland. But I remember when we were doing sound with Julius, the sound designer, he said, God forbid you get into Locarno, because he wouldn't understand this film at all. Because it's a different world there. So probably it is, but I think if you travel around the world, you will find places, like quite underdeveloped places, where teenagers are more susceptible to, these predators and these kind of situations, and more vulnerable, and don't have so much like security around them, and just bored.
Yeah, there's a question here.
Hi, thank you for this marvelous, stunning film. Congrats. I have a question about the cinematographer. How did you work with him or find him? It was his visual approach that was attracted to you, or you find the approach together? I'm speaking of the photographic contemporary documentary style. I love it, and I was wondering if it was your style or his style, or together, of I don't know his work or your previous work. So Was it the first time, or how was it?
Yeah, that was definitely a synergy. I know Vytautas from around Lithuanian film industry is quite small, so you know each other, and we have been friends, you know, for quite some time. So yeah, we decided to work on this film together, and Vytautas is a very talented director of photography. He's actually directing his own film now as a director right now, so that's why he's not here. Yeah, but I think we created this style together, and he pushed me more to go this unconventional way, you know, and I'm really grateful for that. Yeah.
Yes, there's another question here.
Hey there. Thanks so much for the film. It was absolutely wonderful to watch. But I had a quick question for the actresses in it. Okay. Sorry. What made you, I guess, like be drawn towards starring in this film? Yeah, like why did you do it? And I guess what did you want to promote or get out of it?
So to be honest, why I participated in this film is because my family and my best friend pushed me into it. Because actually, when I got the invitation to be on this film, and I was invited to the casting, I was like, I don't want to do it. I read the script, I got scared, and I thought like, I'm not an actress. I didn't believe in myself at all, but I'm glad there were like people around me that encouraged me to go. So I'm really grateful for them, because I would not exchange this experience for anything else. So yeah.
Yeah, and for me, well, I really wanted to act in a film, like in some film. It was my dream, you know, as a child, and yeah, and when I got the opportunity, I just had to take it, you know. It's great. Yeah.
And you even pierced your tongue.
I did.
There's another question here. No. I didn't get it, sorry.
Please, can you explain the last scene, the scene with the car going around? Because I felt it as a symbol of the lives of these girls, of these fragile girls. But I don't know if that was the intention of the authors.
I will give you quite a weird answer. So I don't know if you understood it, but this is the car that the father sold. With the taxi sign removed, but some of it left. And so when he sold this car, it was the end of the car. But the car lived on at the end, you know, as like everything lives on. Just, you know, evolves and transforms into something else, you know. At first it was a taxi, now it's like a low ride for some, you know, guy in the street, you know, just to go around and play with it. So yeah, we transform. Yes, it was positive message.
Yeah, here and here. Yeah.
May I ask you, when you decided to have the Maria, the character, having a deficit in walking, a slight deficit, and on the other side, she's strong enough to resist again. She wants to enter, but she's one of those that resists, for me, in going completely into the game. Several times she says, no, I'm not entering this. Do you see do you invent this relation between having a limitation and being able to fight? Or is that something that I project now into the film?
Do you mean she resisted to enter the modeling school and the system?
Yes, and she did not enter for the photo or for the massage. She, in several instances, she still could. She was very near to be abused, but she had this kind of a little bit of a wall around her. For me.
Yes, and I want to like this character trait where you like chicken out of things and you're not brave enough or bold enough to do something. Sometimes it saves you a lot of trouble, just this being fear or anxious about something. So that was the trait of this character. And about the limping, you know, that also added on to this insecurity, you know, that would make her to, you know, turn around and just change her mind, you know, and walk away. But also, you know, about this modeling school where Vilma, the modeling school leader, says, we'll fix your leg, you know. We'll fix it. You're gonna be okay. There's no problem, you know. And like everyone who watches the film like trashes this modeling school. It's a sinister place. But while making this film, I was feeling also that it gave something good to the main character, you know. This, as her mother says, you're a limp, you will never be a model, you know, just let it go. But there was a character of the modeling school, like a leader, Vilma, who would say, yeah, you're okay, you're all right, you can do it. And I think that also gives like more colors, not only black and white, to all of the story, you know.
Yeah. There was another question here.
Congratulations. The great film. Lithuanian cinema is doing so well at the festival circuit at the moment, looking from Estonia. Saulė, where do you see that yourself on this Lithuanian film scene at the moment, and where is the whole scene going, and where are you going from here?
I have to say I have no clue where I'm going. But I'm also comfortable in that uncertainty right now because I'm not rushing to make another film, and I think I gave all of myself for this project right now, you know. And I think it's very nice when artists just give a lot of themselves for the creation and not try to make as much as possible, not the quantity, but the quality and the heart and the soul. So I don't know. Next project, maybe. Some years later, we'll see.
Thank you. Congratulations again.
Yeah, there's another question here.
Hi. So I was really interested in the urban environment of the movie. And so what I think is let's say the landscape and the architectural and urban environment is beautiful, at the same time also hopeless. So it feels like desperate somehow, right? And my question is it intentional? So did you pick up like different places, trying to give like an overview, like an overall feeling of hopeless environment, or is it like a true place, a true town where you decided to?
Yeah, we didn't have to look much, you know. It was all around us. These kind of industrial areas, you know. Lithuania was occupied for a long time by the Soviet Union, and they would just come and make a lot of factories and, you know, industrial buildings and things like that were going on. So, you know, we became independent, but these dreary areas are still there, you know, and people still wander through them, you know. It's not hopelessness, it's, I think it's more hopeless past that we still, you know, then left behind for good, you know. And with what's now happening in this part of Europe, you know, where we live, yeah, we cannot let go of our past still, you know. And I'm not sure if we will in the future.
Yeah, there's another question here.
Hi, thank you so much for this film. I have a comment first and then a question. Just that I am so grateful to have seen a film that's about modeling that showed so many different kinds of body types in such a beautiful light. People with all kinds of abilities and shapes and sizes. The scene in the sauna was extraordinarily beautiful. And I found it deeply relatable, and I wonder for the actors whether the experience of making this film and now also being in a spotlight and like what this experience has been like for you in terms of how you understand and view your body and how you feel in your body.
Thank you for the question. I think that I relate to this film a lot because I am actually a model. And so, like, for me personally, it's not that dark, but there is some truth to this film. Like, it portrays modeling really well with the promoters and the other countries like Japan or something. They do call girls, but I didn't go. I don't have like I'm not brave enough to go, and I would never would go, I think. And I don't know, with the weight thing, sometimes I do have to count calories, sadly, but I've learned to deal with that, so I think I am gonna go to a good path with my body, and I love my body, so everything is good.
Yeah, and for me, I mean, I don't know, I didn't have much problem in this theme, but I mean, when we filmed, like, I felt really, really touched by the whole idea and everything, and I feel like you just try to understand the characters, you know, and you really can feel what they feel, and yeah, and these problems that they have, you know, you can really feel them when you understand the characters. So yeah.
Some more questions. Maybe you can talk a bit, Saulė, about, because we mentioned there was a question about realism, and there's also kind of breaks from realism that are made as a kind of conscious mise en scène, inserting, for example, the scene when the father dances with his girlfriend. I was wondering, when there's like also those photographies of the people from the community. I was wondering whether it was something that was already there from the script, or it's something that that you decided later once you had found your actors.
I think most of the things were in the script. At some point, it was added on, you know. But yeah, I cannot even remember which ones, you know. Yeah, and the dance was always there, I remember. And the
photo when we stay a long time on those cactus as well, you know, it creates a completely different rhythm, like a pause into this reality.
Yeah, I don't know. As I said in the press conference, I didn't want to go this absolute realistic path. I wanted this supernatural things, you know, for the audience to get more into the point of view of the characters and their visions, you know.
And how did the sound add to that?
Sorry?
The sound. How did it add? How did you work on the sound?
It was a long way. We were with Julius, the sound designer. We were looking for some details, you know, that would really stand out. Some very, very small things, you know, the earrings clinging or the metal in the tongue, you know, and and I think the sound design overlapped with music, you know. At some points we didn't even know, is this like sound design or is it music, you know, because there are some parts of the film that has this, you know, transfer from just some sounds and details to soundtracks, you know.
Are there some more questions?
Just one.
Yeah.
Hello. Thank you for the film, and I would just like to tell you that although the surrounding is gloomy, and I had the feeling that there is a lot of warmth in your film. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Oh, no.
Okay. No, I have the feeling that there is a lot of warmth in your film, despite the gloomy surrounding. I have the feeling that this warmth comes through a lot in the way the girls love each other, in the way one is splitting the hair of another one, and the father that sells the car because he wants to have a model daughter. So I have the feeling that you, nevertheless, are you a hopeful person?
That's an interesting question. Yeah, I am an absolutely hopeful person. But, you know, I wanted to portray hope in a natural way, in the sense of not, giving the audience the morally right solution to things, you know, but just, I think I feel hope, this little shining dot in an absolute night, but it is there, you know. It's not always big, but it's there, you know. And I thank you for seeing this film as, you know, seeing this warmth in the film, because I feel it too, but I suppose most of the people watch it and see it as hopeless. So it's very interesting to talk with people, because part of the audience see hopelessness and part of the audience sees hopefulness. And I think it is connected to the personal experiences of people. Yeah.
Yeah. We have time for one final question here.
Hello, thank you and congratulations to all of you, but especially to the actresses, because I was really impressed by your performances, so congratulations. And I would be curious to know maybe a bit about your relationship on the shooting. If you, maybe to the three of you, to the director, if you were giving clear instructions and had a very clear idea of what you wanted, or if there was space for improvisation, and especially considering that it's a first feature for you and the first experience for you as actresses.
Yeah, so we spend a lot of months rehearsing and just doing improvisations around the scenes. We were rehearsing the scenes that are not in the script. We were rehearsing the scenes that they thought of, you know, and we would just play around with the characters. And what would she do? What would he do? What would happen now? So we had this fun time preparing, you know. But I decided that there's always, you know, space for improvisation and for them being themselves in certain scenes. But in these intense and violent scenes, you know, we decided all together that they will detach themselves from it, and it will be just very technical, you know, and they wouldn't connect too much with what is happening, you know, to feel safe, you know, and not to be hurt by these scenes, you know, themselves. So I don't know, maybe they can tell more about I think that we spent a great time, you know.
Yeah, it was really great. I really enjoyed the lessons before the film, because it was really helpful, because of course we got way closer, and it was way easier going into the film, like knowing everybody on the cast. And it was just like really, really helpful. So I'm really glad we did those lessons, and I had so much fun and I learned a lot.
Yeah, and for me too, you know, getting to know the whole cast and just like doing these kind of practices maybe, but there was also like times where we would just like go there and just improvise, yeah. And that really, really helps, you know, to get more comfortable. And then we did some practices with camera too. So, you know, yeah, we just got all more comfortable and more comfortable with camera, and yeah, it was really great.
Yeah, but I have to say that these girls they are smart, you know. So you would have to introduce some kind of controversial idea for them and really talk through it with them, you know. They aren't the girls that you would say, okay, do that, and they would do it. Wait, let's talk about it. What are we doing? Why is this happening to my character? So I was really thrown off of this, you know, some situations where they showed up like real actresses, you know, and like especially at the end of the shooting where they knew their way around, you know, and everything, and they became actresses.